So here's some basic drills just to understand the shockwaves to start off. So the light snap, what I'm doing is I'm going in but I'm pulling back faster, and I'm going in maybe that deep to an inch to that deep. What I'm doing is I'm not snapping in, what I'm doing is I'm pulling my hand back faster than when it goes in using the sharp breath. So I'm close in, so as I snap in, so all I'm doing is going in and then I pull this back faster, and what happens is when I pull this back faster, this bit shoots out a little bit and that creates that snap. So you do it as close as you can, and then when you're further out, a longer distance, it's the same sort of thing where you're just snapping back. Now what happens there is when I snap, my head bounces in and straight back. The deep snap, which is number 2, is when I'm snapping in to the target and I'm going in maybe this deep. So I'm snapping in and my head either stays over my leg or it goes over the opposite leg and stays there for a little bit longer than it would with the snap, because I'm leaving the energy deeper into the target. So if I'm closer here, then I'm snapping in. So I'm taking this snap that I learned there, and then I'm snapping into the bag. So that's the deep snap. Now the rip is, so what I'm doing with the light snap, I'm coming out and snapping straight back. The deep snap, I'm snapping in and coming round. And the ripper, which is the most powerful of the 3, but not the most effective, what I'm doing is, if I say I throw a straight punch here, then what I'm doing is I'm putting I'm going to cock back a little bit more, and I'm going to put a little curve that comes out, and when I hit with a deep snap, and then I rip off. So when I throw the punch, I'm coming over, I'm snapping in deep but ripping off, and what happens then is once I finish the punch, I'm back with this hand rear, and I throw this over, rip it back, and this hand's rear, so it's full power each time. So they're the 3 shockwaves. Let's look at the rip. If I'm ripping in here, then I'm coming over on a curve. So I'm going in roughly as deep as the deep snap, but I'm ripping off like a 45-degree motion back to wherever my other hand is. Could be lower, could be higher, but then this hand is set up to automatically fire back. That way under pressure, you'll automatically have the good hand back ready to go, depends on what you're doing. So what you want to do is say train 50 of each snap, and once you understand it, then it's where people make a massive switch, and it goes from, because if you're trying to think about what you're doing and there's loads, it's just in the chaos of the fight, you know, you're not going to be able to think about it, so it has to be trained and understood. The one thing that makes the biggest difference is training that bit at the end. Then whatever I throw, whatever kind of punch or strike I throw out, or a kick, elbow, then it's going to have that snap on the end, particularly when I had intent, but not like I'm not angry, I'm trying to break what I'm hitting, and I'm visualising that when I hit, and I use the short sharp breath. The short sharp breath is also very important. It's something you do anyway when you train, just like the shockwaves, after a certain amount of time, but if you train it sooner, then you'll jump up your skill level a lot quicker than you would if you were just training the punching. So when I'm using a short sharp breath when I land, and what that does is, because I'm not really tensing anywhere specifically, it depends on the punch. The boxing, you tend to finish with the tricep tensing. With the kinetic punch, it's the shoulder that drives in, and I can tense the tricep with the kinetic punch to give it a little bit more dig, but it's not needed, so I'm not wearing out the triceps at all. So I've got the light snap where I'm snapping in and snapping back, just like you'd do a jab. So if I did a jab and then a cross, that would probably be the deep snap where I'm snapping in, and then the cleave, say I did a hook and I come round when I hit the bag there, and I come off at 45 degrees, say this was 90 degrees there, that's 45 degrees. So when I hit the target, I'm ripping off at 45, that's the most powerful. So what you do is you train them, say do 50 of each three times a week. And then after about a time, what will happen is when you start punching, instead of just kind of hitting with weight, you'll be able to hit with a snap and using the breath. And then it becomes a natural automatic response then. So when you do throw a punch, even if it's under the chaos of a fight, it'll have that sharp snap on the end and it'll be more effective. And that's what, because the harder you can hit a pad when someone's holding it, then realistically the harder you'll hit somebody. But you know, there's a lot of things that get in the way, like water, ground, slippy ground, mud, other people. So nothing's ever guaranteed, but understanding that snap makes it a hell of a lot easier because you're not thinking about what you're doing. As such, you're just doing the snap, and when you do it, it creates a massive amount of energy using very little power. So have a play with that. Let me know how you get on.